The world is grey, a soft, endless rain of grit and ash falls from a sky that is no longer sky, just a ceiling of suffocating dust. It coats every surface, muffling sound, stealing warmth, and choking the very air. Kuro, the clan's old mother, licks the grime from her lips and tastes the mountain's rage a bitter, sulfuric tang. This is not dust, this is the end of the sun. The great rules of this prehistoric world are being rewritten in ash. Under the precarious shelter of a rock overhang, the small band of Homo Habilis huddles together, their dark eyes wide in the gloom. They are 12 souls, all that remains since the mountain that speaks fire devoured the dawn 3 days ago. The familiar terror of the great flesh-eaters, the thunderous footfalls of the passing sauropod, all of it is gone, silenced and buried by this relentless grey snow. But a new fear has taken its place. It is a sound, a dry, sharp click, like a stone spearhead striking rock, followed by a drawn-out scream. It comes first from the left, then from the right, a phantom geometry of death closing in through the swirling ash. Yum. The clan's strongest hunter presses his body flat against the canyon wall, his knuckles white around the Aldo and chopper in his hand. He peers into the blinding curtain, his vision useless beyond 10 paces. He does not need to see, he needs only to listen. The sounds are the new tracks, the new scent on the wind. Koro makes a sharp, silent gesture to the others, a flat hand slicing downwards, sky spears. The clan's name for them, in the time before the ash. The Quetzalcoatlus were a distant menace, giraffe-sized silhouettes soaring on impossible wings, their shadows racing across the plains. Now, the sky has fallen to earth. The eruption's immense pyroclastic flow into the subsequent ash fall have blinded the colossal pterosaurs, grounding their entire flock in these narrow canyons, disoriented and starving. Their aerial grace has been stripped away, leaving only a clumsy, earth-bound malice. They stalk the grey maze, tapping their enormous, needle-sharp beaks against the rock, listening for the echo of movement, the vibration of a living thing. Their long, stiff necks pivot through the ash like periscopes of bone. These creatures, once masters of the wind, have become the ultimate nightmare for early humans in this suffocating landscape's island, patient stalkers who hunt by sound alone. They are a terrifying new variable in the brutal calculus of prehistoric life. The clan is out of water. The small pool beneath the overhang is a slurry of mud and ash. Nom knows they cannot stay. He saw a fissure earlier, a dark crack in the far canyon wall, barely visible before the ash thickened. A cave, perhaps, safety, but it is 100 paces away, 100 paces of open, ash-strewn ground, where every scuffed stone, every panicked breath, is a dinner bell for the sky spears. The scraping sound is closer now, a perimeter of unseen sentinels drawing a net of sound around their shallow refuge. A young female, little more than a girl, begins to tremble, her teeth chattering in a quiet rhythm that is itself a danger. Nom places a heavy hand on her shoulder, a silent command to control her fear. Thirst is a physical pain, a scraping in their throats that mirrors the sound of the beaks outside. Every instinct, a product of 1,000,000 years of evolution, screams at them to run. But their intelligence, the flickering candle of these Homo Habilis, knows that to move is to die. This is the paradox of their existence, the cruel logic of this new, ash-choked age. Their survival depends on defying the very instincts that kept their ancestors alive. Nom meets Kuro's gaze across the huddled forms. There is no plan spoken, no debate. There is only a shared, terrible understanding that passes between the hunter and the matriarch. It is the cold arithmetic of their species, a problem of motion and sound. To cross the open ground, the group must move together, and that movement, however swift, will make noise. It will be enough. Kuro's eyes, ancient and weary, drift to the two children clutching their mother's leg. She sees the future in their terrified faces, a future that will end here. In this grey dust, unless the equation is changed. A new variable must be introduced. A sacrifice. Her decision is as silent and absolute as the falling ash, when the sky itself becomes your cage. You must learn to carve your path through the bones of the earth. She rises slowly, her movements deliberate, causing the others to flinch, but the sky spears do not react. Their senses are not tuned to such grace. She picks up her worn Noldo and chopper from the ground. Its familiar way to comfort. In her other hand, she after a heavy, flat stone. She gives them one final, steady look. It is not a look of farewell. It is an instruction. He understands. He gathers the clan, preparing them for the signal, for the desperate, heart-pounding dash that must follow. Kuro steps out from under the overhang. For a moment, she is just a stoop, frail figure against the swirling grey, a ghost of an ancestor. Then she raises her arms and smashes the two stones together. The clang is a shockwave, a violation of the muffled silence. She strikes them again. Clang. And again. Clang. Then, she adds her own voice, not a scream of terror, but a deep, guttural cry of defiance, a sound that has never before echoed in this canyon. She runs, not towards the fissure, but away from it, hammering the rocks together, her low, stark figure the single point of sound in the entire world. The response is instantaneous. The scraping stops. A dozen massive, snake-like heads snap in her direction through the ash. The air fills with the frantic, percussive clack, 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 clack of beaks as the entire flock of dinosaurs converges on the sound. Now, Lum's command is a ragged whisper. The clan bursts from cover. A frantic, silent scramble across the open ground. They run low, their bare feet making soft thuds in the deep ash. They are a stream of fleeting shadows. Their world shrunk to the gaping black maw of the fissure ahead and the horrifying cacophony of breaking bone and tearing flesh behind them. Lum is the last, shoving the final child through the opening before tumbling in himself. He glances back for a single, sickening second. He sees no clan mother. He sees only a frenzied forest of stabbing, spear-like heads, a whirlwind of grey wings and primordial hunger. Then, the sound stops. The darkness inside the fissure is absolute. It is a physical presence, pressing in on them, a cold blanket smelling of damp stone and ancient stillness, for a long time. The only sound is the ragged panting of 11 survivors, their lungs burning from the ash and the frantic dash. The echoes of Kuoro's sacrifice reverberate not in the canyon, but in their minds. Num presses his ear to the cold rock, listening to the silence outside, a silence more terrifying than the clamor it replaced. He feels the weight of Kuoro's final glance, the mantle of leadership settling on his shoulders not with pride, but as a crushing burn. This moment is a stark lesson in hominid history. Survival is a ledger written in loss. They dry. Slithering scrape breaks the stillness right at the entrance of the fissure. The clan freezes. A collective statue of terror. A colossal, spear-like beak, impossibly long, slides into the opening, probing the darkness. It taps left, then right. A metronome of death. A huge, unblinking eye, a black and yellow marble of reptilian indifference, peers in after it, scanning the void. But the creature's massive head is constricted by the narrow opening. Its shoulders, the base of its enormous wings, are too wide to follow. A guttural hiss of frustration echoes from its throat, and they hear the clumsy scrape of a wing bumping against the outer rock face. In that sound, that single, awkward scrape, Lum sees not a monster, but a machine with a flaw. It is huge, yes, deadly, absolutely. But it is also clumsy. The creature of open sky is trapped in a world of claustrophobic angles. They retreat deeper, moving like ghosts into the mountain's gut. The air changes, growing cooler. The acrid taste of ash replaced by the clean scent of wet earth. A soft dripping leads them to a seep in the wall, and they cup their hands, drinking the first clean water in days. It is a sacrament. Here, in the belly of the earth, they are safe from the skyfall. They are becoming something new, something the sun has never seen. They are becoming troglodytes, children of the stone. But they cannot stay in one place. Another Quetzalcoatlus finds their entrance. Its probing beak a reminder that their sanctuary is fragile. It is then that a young boy, startled, drops a stone. Its kit rests down a side passage, clattering loudly in the deep silence. Instantly, the scraping at their entrance ceases. Dum holds up a hand, listening. He hears the heavy, shuffling steps of the great beast moving away from them. Hunting the echo, an idea ignites in Lum's mind. A concept as revolutionary as the first shaped stone. It is a new tool, an invisible weapon, acoustic deception. He picks up another rock, gestures for silence, and hurls it deep into another intersecting tunnel. It lands with a series of loud cracks. The distant shuffling changes direction again, following the ghost sound. This is more than survival. This is the dawn of strategy. This is the essence of human evolution, not the strength of the arm, but the cunning of the mind. They have found the key. They do not have to hide in silence. They can command it. They can lie to the monsters. The saga of Lum's clan would never be carved in stone or sung by generations, for they existed in a time before such things. Their chronicle is written only in the fossil record of their own survival, in the unlikely persistence of their genes. They became masters of the deep places, navigators of the silent, dark highways beneath the ash-choked world. Their discovery was a pivotal moment in the anthropology of courage. The realization that the greatest weaknesses of an apex predator are not in its hide, but in its mind, in its predictable instincts. Kuro's sacrifice was not just an act of love. It was the first note in a symphony of misdirection. Her clan learned to play that symphony, using thrown stones and echoing calls to conduct the flock of hungry titans on a fool's errand, leading them into dead ends and away from the life-giving caves. They traded the sun for a chance at the future. This is the brutal, beautiful truth of our ascent. Humanity did not conquer the prehistoric world by meeting its ferocity with equal force. We survived by being the thing the titans could not understand. The quiet whisper that mimicked a roar. The small movement that created a phantom army. The intelligent lie that outsmarted a billion years of predatory evolution. How many of us know, in our own concrete canyons, owe our existence to a handful of ancient humans who, choking on the end of their world, first learned that the most powerful weapon you can wield against a monster is a well-told echo. For in the dark places where sound is a weapon, humanity first learned to bend the rules of a world that was never meant for them.